It's been a week since I've done a live video. I needed some time off. And I'm going to share with you, as I'm always try to be as candid as I possibly can, why I needed that time off and then what's next. So I needed a break for several reasons. And one of them is, honestly, when I thought of the idea of #causeascene, it was my way of pushing back on a lot of stuff that I see that could be improved, yet people aren't spending the energy, the effort, the resources to do it. And when it resonated with so many people, I moved forward with it, but really didn't think about how to move forward. As I say on here all the time, outrage is reactive and strategy is proactive, and I'm always trying to be proactive. My motto in life, my core values are, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? And as I was moving forward, yes, people were, were galvanized to the idea, were excited about it, but there was no plan in place. There was no strategy in place. It didn't come from from a place of strategy. It was just in my own head. And so I had to step away and come up with a strategy, because if not, 2 months, 1 year down the road, it would have been a hot mess, and it would have been totally counter to what I wanted to create. Or, well, I didn't even want to create anything, but now that it is a thing, I want to create something around it. And so I had to be strategic. So that's one reason I stepped away. Another reason is based on my core values. I saw in this space, for individuals who are talking about inclusion and diversity, this can be an unkind space. This can be a space where you don't feel safe, if not physically, but just emotionally and spiritually and mentally. There's a lot of, and I'm not even talking about trolls, because I don't get many trolls or people who say really negative things. But for me to spend people really don't understand the energy it takes for me to craft a message in a way that is receptive to people who need to hear it, so they can take something away from it rather being defensive and shut down. It takes a lot of energy to do that. And I was standing there, and I really didn't see anybody in that space who I could talk to. I just felt very, very alone, who really, really had my back. I know I've talked about the League of White Men, and we're going to continue to build on that. And I've talked about the friends that I have. But in that moment, I saw no one. I looked on the horizon, and I saw no one who I could speak to candidly about what I was going through and the things that I was experiencing. So, and I'm if you haven't noticed, a very verbal person. I really work out stuff by talking. So I could be in a conversation, start a conversation, knowing that there's somewhere I want to go. I'm trying to figure this out, just like this conversation. And I have no idea how it's going to end, because I'm processing as I go. And that's how my talks are. And I think that's why people really like them, because they're completely, except for the slides. And the slides, I'm going to be honest with you, are mainly for me, so I can keep on track, because I'm in the moment. It's totally improvisational, and I leave everything there. So it's very draining for a person who is naturally an introvert. And so, but with this, I saw myself just being alone on this, at the head of this movement that I didn't know I was creating. And, I saw myself getting caught up in a lot of things. So I had to go back to my core values. So one of the things that, when I'm looking at social media, there's a lot that I could clap back on, or argue with someone, or people say some stupid shit. I mean, people say some stupid shit on all sides. We're not even gonna say both sides, because there's usually, people think liberal, conservative, black, white, red. It's not. It's multiple perspectives, and people in these have these multiple perspectives can say some stupid shit. And so I find some. I mean, and when I'm gonna let me quantify and qualify what I mean by stupid shit. Some shit that they haven't even researched. They've done no independent study on, but someone said it somewhere, and so they hang on to that as the truth, and then they want to argue about something that you are an expert in. So going back to my core value is, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? I want to be happy. Right, I can only be right if there's an outcome that's positive, if people are going to learn from it. If it's not, I don't intend to go down that rabbit hole. And so, but I found myself doing that because I did not have a structure around hashtag causeascene. So every person who was saying something that was just totally out of line, I was commenting on. And that was just draining me because I was commenting, and I come from a place of, I want to inform, guide, highlight, illuminate. And some of these things just don't need to be, I don't need to be the person who does that. I'm an educator by heart, by trade, by blood. And in my classroom, I had great classroom management because I knew how to manage a classroom. So if there was something that was inappropriate that was going on, or a conversation that was complex that we really needed to talk about, I shut down. I make sure we understood what was what was inappropriate. Discuss why was it inappropriate, and then let's talk about strategies for how we want to act in the future. And that's how social media had been for me. Social media has always been a place, particularly Twitter, has been a place of professional. It's my professional brand. It's me as a professional. And I recognize that I was being personal. And I don't want to be personal on Twitter at all. I'm personal on Facebook because that's where my family and friends are. But yeah, I don't want to argue with people in a way that, it's just, Twitter is a professional brand for me. It is a brand for me to talk about the things that I'm an expert in, not to argue with somebody whose point they have not researched, or they just, it's convenient, or whatever the case. So I really had to take some time and stuff. I deleted all my social media apps from my phone, my iPad, and didn't go online because I needed that space to just get that noise out of my head and listen to my own voice about what was important to me. And so I had to go back to my core values, because one of the things that was getting me, again, when I hadn't defined what hashtag causeascene is, and this is why I so believe that business leaders, entrepreneurs, startups need to really take the time to develop core values, is because I hadn't defined the core values or attached hashtag causeascene to my core values, my personal and professional core values. Anything that people were saying that, oh, Kim, you need to be a part of this. Oh, Kim, I was jumping on it because I saw it as an opportunity, where they are opportunities, but then I need to take another litmus test, think of it farther. Are there opportunities for me? And many of these weren't opportunities for me because they weren't aligned with my business professional core values nor my personal core values. So I really had to take some time to think about that. And once I stepped away, a day later, all this, so I have a board over here of all the ideas that I felt rejuvenated and ready to come back, and the things that I'm going to tackle. So I'm not going to disclose anything now, but starting next week, I will be doing, so I want to do this video now because I won't be addressing this, why I stepped away. And also I would encourage other people to do this. When you're feeling burnt out, and hopefully before, you self-reflect. You take the time you need, regardless of what people are saying. Because, I was thinking, I can't step away from Twitter because that's where my business is. No, I had to step away from Twitter because my business was getting off track. My message was getting derailed by me because I wasn't attaching my message to my core values. So next week I will be speaking in detail about some projects that I have coming up for hashtag causeascene. I recognize this is a movement and it's not just me. So I welcome people who want to be a part of it. If you want to be a part of the League of White Men, please go to hashtag causeascene, and there's a link there with a video explaining to you what that is. And we can get started with that. If there's a lot of exciting things I have coming up. If you want to participate in any way, just DM me and we can see if what you want to do fits with the core values of what I'm trying to move forward. But thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I look forward to talking with you and sharing with you the things that I have coming up on Monday. Thank you.